Welcome to Frederick at its best. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. And today we're gathered to talk about emergency preparedness because September is National Preparedness Month. This topic seems especially timely and important in light of the recent Hurricane Harvey, that impacted Houston and much of Texas with really devastating flooding. And we know there's another potential hurricane looming that could impact the United States. So our thoughts and prayers do go out to all of the people who are in Texas and who are trying to recover from the terrible hurricane and flooding that happened there. And I do encourage people who are watching and our county employees and really the residents of the county, if they want to help support the people there, and really it's thousands of people, to pick a organization that is reputable to contribute money to. We hear regularly that people don't want donations because that requires sorting things and people are sending some things people don't really need. So contributions of money are most appreciated. So we live in a generous community, we live in a generous country, and I think it's important that we help our neighbors in need. So the theme for National Preparedness Month is Disasters Don't Plan Ahead, but You Can. National Preparedness Month is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Ready America campaign, which is a nationwide effort designed to increase awareness as well as encourage individuals, families, businesses, and communities to take action to prepare for emergency. And this really is everyone's responsibility. This month is the perfect time for our businesses and our residents and our families and even students to do their part to keep this community safe by being prepared for an emergency and by developing a plan. Citizens can build a more resilient community by working with their families, friends, and coworkers on how to better protect themselves and keep themselves safe. And they can do this by reviewing their preparedness plans and updating their disaster supply kits. So I know everyone up here has a disaster supply kit, but for those of you who are viewing, we hope that you will talk about this in your family and make sure you have a disaster supply kit. Again, the best time to prepare is well before something happens. During Emergency Preparedness Month, which is the entire month of September, the Frederick County Division of Emergency Management, along with all of its partners, which are the many people gathered here with me today, will focus on a number of unique themes, one for each week in the month of September. The first is to make a plan for yourself, your family, and your friends. The second is to plan to help your neighbors and community. The third is to practice and build out your plans. And the last is to get involved, be part of something larger, be part of the larger community response. Again, every citizen in our county and in our country has a part and plays an important role in national emergency management systems because it's all about protecting people and property from a wide variety and types of hazards. Here are some pointers on how to be prepared before an emergency. Know the possible risks and dangers of where you live. Ensure you have proper insurance coverage. Develop an emergency plan and practice it. Assemble a disaster supply kit. Stay informed and volunteer to help your neighbors and help others. During an emergency, you'll then know what to do. You'll be able to put your plan into action, to help others around you, and to know how to obtain and follow the advice and guidance of officials in our county who are in charge of that response. Recovery after an incident is just as important, and that's certainly what we see happening right now in Texas. Make sure you evaluate your home for damage, repair damaged property, and take steps to prevent or reduce future losses. Being prepared can reduce fear, anxiety, and stress, and it can actually also reduce your losses that accompany a disaster. Communities, families, and individuals should know what roads frequently flood, and we do always want to remind people to never, ever drive through standing water. You can always check the Frederick County website, which is frederickcountymd.gov/roadsclosed, to find out what roads are closed in the county. People can also reduce the impact of disasters by being prepared and by implementing a few simple mitigation measures, such as cleaning out your gutters, ensuring that trees are properly trimmed, elevate appliances in the basement, secure your hot water heaters and propane tanks, and make sure every member of your family knows how to shut off the utilities to your home. You should know how to respond in the event of severe weather or any disaster that can occur, whether it's a hurricane, an earthquake, a winter storm, which is something we frequently have, flooding, again, something we frequently experience, or terrorism. You should also be ready to be self-sufficient for at least 3 days. This may mean being prepared to stay home, to shelter in place, and to make sure you have the first aid, the food, the water, and the other supplies you need for those 3 days. I strongly encourage all of our citizens to register to receive emergency information from Alert Frederick County. And you can sign up to get alerts about weather events that might be coming to the county at www.frederickcountymd.gov/alert. Emergency messages are always available on broadcasts on our local radio stations, including WFMD, which is 9:30 a.m., WFRE 99.9 FM, WAFY 103.1. We also put information out on the county government channel, which is Channel 19. Frederick County Public Schools will often put information out on their cable channel, which is Channel 18. And you can find information on municipal county government channels at Channel 99 and at FCG-TV. As with any emergency plan, citizens should have a disaster kit and be proactive with their families and their children and their neighbors in knowing what that plan is and know where to find local information. Every home emergency kit, again, should have 3 to 7 days of a supply of water for each individual in the household and ready-to-eat non-perishable food. Don't forget to put things in like a manual can opener, a battery-powered radio, and I always tell people the battery-powered radio is the #1 thing you should have because that's how you can get information about what's happening, a flashlight and some extra batteries, and a change of clothing. This kit should also have first aid supplies. If you take prescription medication, it should have your prescription and non-prescription medications that you may need, and important documents should be copied and put into your emergency kit. After you make a plan, discuss it with all your family members, and you can practice it as well if you need to. Don't forget to make special plans for elderly members of your family and people with disabilities. Identify 2 meeting places, one near your home and one outside the area in case you can't return home. And remember to make plans for your pets too. A lot of times we have people who don't want to leave their home because they're concerned about leaving their pet. Also select somebody who lives outside the area, somebody maybe one of your relatives, who will be your emergency contact and where every member of your immediate family can call to report in that they are safe. One of the best ways to be prepared is to stay informed of weather-related hazards. And again, you can get that information by signing up for alerts. While not as dangerous as a hurricane or a tropical storm, one of the most frequent emergencies we face in Frederick County is thunderstorms and the resulting dangerous flooding of our roads and occasionally flash flooding. So a good, important part of being prepared is really just being alert and being aware of what's happening around you and making sure you have that emergency plan in your household and your business. So I've talked now for long enough. I'm going to let the people who have joined me here today say a few words about what they're doing for on an everyday basis to prepare for emergencies and to keep our community safe and to introduce themselves as well. So I'm going to start with you, Jack.
Thank you, Madam County Executive. Jack Markey, I'm the Director of Emergency Management for Frederick County, and I'd like to thank everyone that tuned in for tuning in and looking to be more prepared. We encourage all of our businesses, all of our residents and visitors to the county to be informed, make a plan, and most importantly, take action. A complicated, exotic plan that you mean to get to is less important than the simple tasks, as the county executive has outlined, to help whether it be your family, whether it be your business, whether it be your government organization, be ready when the emergency arrives. So please take those steps, and communities do well when they pull together, and what you have in front of you today is a representative sample. This is not everybody that works together every day in Frederick County, but it certainly are the key partners to keep everyone safe and to be prepared for whatever may come our way. So thank you.
I'm Lieutenant Bruce DeGrange with the Frederick Police Department. I'm the commander of the Professional Services Division.
Allison Kaler, Frederick County Health Department, Office of Public Health Preparedness.
Hello, Melissa Paulus from the Frederick County Health Department, also from Public Health Preparedness.
Good afternoon, Mary Chismar. I'm the Director of Plans and Operations, Training, Mobilization, and Security at Fort Detrick.
Okay, you can share what you do if you want, if you have any tips you want to share as well.
All right, well, good afternoon. My name is John Krinsek. I'm the Senior Director of Facilities and Engineering for AstraZeneca here in Frederick County. What we do is we partner with the fire department, law enforcement, rescue, so that as we practice and prepare for a crisis situation, we can be as strong a position as possible and be able to transition as seamlessly as possible to the professionals. We plan on working in partnership in such an event. So thank you for having me today.
Stephanie Sparks, Emergency Planner for Frederick City Police.
Garth Phoebus, Installation Emergency Manager, Fort Detrick. We're happy to be a part of this proclamation. Also, it's important for us to maintain our relationships with the county and the city to ensure that we respond to, recover from in a timely and effective manner.
Okay, can you take it back that way?
Which way?
You don't want to skip our Chief of Police in the city of Frederick.
Good afternoon, Ed Hargis, Chief of Police for Frederick City Police Department. I want to encourage everyone in Frederick City to make sure that you have an evacuation plan for your house, whether it's an evacuation plan that covers an all-hazards approach, whether it be a fire evacuation plan or some other emergency, be able to get out of the house, rally up the family, have rally points already designated, because you can't wait till when an emergency happens. You need to have the plan and practice right from the beginning.
I'm Chip Jewell. I'm Deputy Chief of the Division of Volunteer Fire Rescue Services, and also representing Chief Owens of the Division of Fire Rescue Services and President Eric Smothers of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association, who could not be here today. And certainly we encourage both fire and life safety. This time of year, we look at carbon monoxide, where we may possibly have to use generators. We've had fatalities because of the carbon monoxide entering houses, entering garage, running cars. So we encourage people to not only check their smoke alarms, but also make sure you have a CO detector in your house. And of course, as the fall comes, we're looking at chimney fires, we're looking at the improper storage and disposal of ashes. We generally have several fires every year where people put their ashes in a paper bag because it's been a day or two. They smolder for days. So please use caution. Take a CPR class, take a first aid class, learn how to use an automatic external defibrillator. These things are the life safety part to not only save your family, but you could save a citizen.
Hi, I'm Beverly Stambaugh, the Executive Director for the Western Maryland Chapter of the American Red Cross. I am so proud to stand here with all of our partners in supporting the efforts of being prepared. The best thing, as everyone has already mentioned here, is to be prepared. Know your preparations, know your routes, know who to contact, have a plan and execute that plan. And in response to Hurricane Harvey, we just do thank everyone. We have received so many wonderful donations and willingness to support, not just financial, but also volunteers, and we still need them. So I do encourage you that if you have time to please go to our website, redcross.org, and volunteer and or make a donation. But again, please be prepared. The best laid plans are those that are actually executed and are practiced. Thank you for your support.
Hi, I'm Tom Dixon from the Division of Interagency Information Technologies, and one of the big things we do is support the 911 Center with 7x24 operational support, and also keep those systems current with technology as it gets rolled out.
I'm Scott Blundell with Frederick County Public Schools, and I want to thank the county executive for inviting us up here to prepare with the other folks in the county. We make sure that there are plans for every single school in the system and that they're ready for any emergency they might come in contact with.
Dennis Dudley, I'm in emergency management with Jack Markey. I'm the Director of Emergency Preparedness. And our function is to bring together all the plans of all the different agencies and partners and ensure we're all coordinated and working together. And just a note, and it's hit on over and over again, make a plan. Be prepared to be your own responder for the beginning of the emergency. While all the emergency responders are dealing with the true emergencies or the more serious incidents, you can take a big burden off everybody by just being prepared.
Hi, I'm Linda Shea. I'm the Division Director with Frederick County Division of Animal Control. Thank you, County Executive Gardner, for including us in this. As we know, Frederick County residents are very passionate about animals, so we want to make sure that everybody includes their pets. If you're preparing for an emergency, have a plan put together, we recommend putting together a little packet of food, harnesses, litter, whatever medications your pet may need, vet records, that helps as well. And probably most importantly, have a backup plan if something prevents you from getting home on time or in a timely manner to administer medication. That's something a lot of people forget. So we encourage you to do that. And if you want any other tips or tricks, you want to make sure you contact our division. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shelley Thomas, Director of Family Partnership within the Citizen Services Division, and we work closely with the county for sheltering activities.
I'm Dr. Barbara Brookmeyer, the Director of the Frederick County Health Department, and I would like to repeat the importance of making sure that if you take any medications or family members take medications, that one, you have those medications written down on a sheet of paper, the dosage and the name of the medications, but two, it's always a best practice to not wait until the last minute to refill those, and then if there is a storm that's anticipated, to try to get refills a little bit earlier if it's possible with your plan. And in some cases, in advance of some emergencies, the states and the various insurance companies have acknowledged the need to refill a little bit sooner than usual. And I would also like to emphasize what Chip Jewell said, is that if it's a weather event, that once the main weather event has moved out of the area, then it's definitely the carbon monoxide and other situations that put the public's health at risk. And so we advise caution and to tune into our website as well, the county's website, to be able to get better guidance on the specific situation.
I'm Monica Grant. I'm the Director of the Citizen Services Division of Frederick County Government, and one of the roles of our division is to help coordinate shelter and mass care activities in the unlikely event that there would be a need for sheltering large numbers of folks in Frederick County. And we are very fortunate to work with many of these fine people here on the stage to see to it that Frederick County residents are safe in the event of a large-scale emergency. But what we really want you to be careful about is the smaller scale emergency that affects you or your neighbors or your immediate community, and we would love for every single person to have a plan so that we do not have to provide shelter for you in the event of an emergency.
Hello, I'm Dave Ennis, Department Head for Highway and Facility Maintenance in the county's Division of Public Works, here on behalf of Director Chuck Knipe. I'd like to remind everyone once again, if you're out on the roads and they're flooding, don't drive through standing water. If we have high water signs up or barricades across the road, please obey those signs. Don't drive around the barricades. We don't want to put the citizens or the emergency responders at risk trying to make water rescues where it really wasn't necessary. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott Pierce, the Chief Information Security Officer for the county.
Hello, I'm Chris Saucy. I'm the Director of Safety and Emergency Preparedness for FCC. So what is FCC doing? On behalf of the college, we look forward to working with the Frederick County Preparedness Month. We'd like to thank the government for supporting FCC in their emergency preparedness planning. FCC has proactively taken steps to create a college crisis management team and institute best practices on an all-hazards approach that includes training for faculty and for students. We've created 2 videos for faculty as well. We also plan 20 different drills in this academic year for what I call the big 3, evacuations, sheltering, and lockdowns. Additionally, FCC hosts the Mid-Atlantic Center for Emergency Management, and the college finally is looking forward to participating with Frederick County in the emergency preparedness and collaborating with the county emergency preparedness as we collectively work towards public safety for all.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Robertson. I'm Assistant Commander with the Maryland State Police here in Frederick County. I'm here on behalf of Lieutenant Wayne Walksmith, who couldn't be here today. The Maryland State Police offers a statewide resource for our mobile field force, and we can deploy that resource at any county in Maryland should we have a large-scale emergency specific to both civil unrest and some sort of natural disaster. We're going to continue our efforts here in Frederick County with our crime fight and toward the reduction of violent crime as well as Maryland highway safety with all of our allied partners. One of the things I'd like to just throw out here, it might not be the venue for this, but we do have prescription drug boxes at the Frederick Barrack Law Enforcement Center with the Sheriff's Office. If anybody has prescription drugs that they want to get rid of, just bring them in there and drop them off 24/7 anytime you want. Thank you.
I'm Lieutenant Mark Landau, I'm the Homeland Security Commander for the Frederick County Sheriff's Office here on behalf of Sheriff Jenkins. And a lot of things have been shared, but I think there's one thing we've missed a little bit is about that prevention piece. So we want all of our law enforcement partners, when we're talking about human threats, to connect with us and report things that we see and are seen in the community that could be threatening to you or to someone else. And we want, along with all of us in uniform here, want to investigate that and keep a community as safe as possible.
One final closing thank you to all of those assembled on the stage, and I think Mark spelled it out well. The best emergency is the emergency that we prevent by working together, by talking about what our risks are, by talking with our children, our parents, our family, our friends, and most importantly, our neighbors. Emergencies can be kept small, can be reduced, can be prevented by working together. So as part of your commitment to all of those you care about in your community, please take that action. Meet a new neighbor. Ask the question of your children, what would you do if I couldn't get home because of an emergency? What should I do? What should your children do? And as part of being informed, since the 1970s, there have been 13 declared disasters in Frederick County. 9 of them have been due to flooding and severe weather, and 4 of them have been severe winter storms. So in terms of what should I prepare for, what should I be thinking about, those types of scenarios where we lose power, where you may not be able to travel your normal routes of travel, and where you may have to be in the safest place, which is your home. Unless public safety agencies direct you to evacuate or you have a threat that's immediate and apparent to yourself, your best place is to remain at home. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. There really is a lot to say about emergency preparedness. And just as a matter of memory and history, I can remember when we added our first position for emergency preparedness, which was in the budget that started on July 1st, 2001. And a couple of months later, September 11th happened. And the whole idea of county governments and local governments being prepared for emergencies of the humankind was heightened. And so we've been doing the preparedness for floods and weather events for a long time. But we've really tried to work with our municipalities and many, many other partners, even more people than you see standing here today, to make sure that we keep this community safe. It really is a fundamental responsibility of local government. And when we set up our Emergency Operations Center, these agencies and others have people there. And so, and they will stay there as long as it takes till that event comes to a conclusion. So we appreciate, and I really think it's a good opportunity to say thank you to all of our first responders, whether they're in law enforcement or EMS or 911 or Public Works or the Health Department or Animal Control, and I'm sure I'm missing a few others, people who provide housing and sheltering, our nonprofit partners like the Red Cross, for the great job that they do to make sure that we respond and take care of people in our community. So I do have a proclamation which I actually haven't read yet. It does repeat much of what is here, but I do want to say a few words about it. Whereas National Preparedness Month is an opportunity to raise awareness about the importance of emergency preparedness and to encourage all of our citizens and all Americans to better prepare their homes and their communities for emergencies. And whereas protecting America's homeland and citizens is a shared responsibility and all of us play an important role in that. And whereas this month is also an opportunity to pay tribute to America's first responders who put themselves at risk for the safety of their fellow citizens. And I really want to say that we need to thank all of the volunteers who we saw step up recently in Texas to help their neighbors. And we have to be grateful for their service and their sacrifice to each other. So during National Preparedness Month, I really want to encourage all of our citizens to get involved in their community's preparedness efforts. Citizens may visit www.frederickcountymd.gov/ready to learn more about how to become prepared. And again, sign up for alerts. It's frederickcountymd.gov/alerts to find out about events that may be coming and how you might need to prepare for them. So now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby proclaim September 2017 as National Preparedness Month in Frederick County and commend this observance to all of our citizens. So thank you for joining us today. I'm very grateful for this wonderful team that we have who always communicate, collaborate, and coordinate to make sure our community is safe, and to remind all of you as citizens that you play an important role of being prepared in your own homes and at your own places of business with a plan, a disaster kit, something that you've practiced and talked about. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll join in taking action to be prepared so our community can always be safe.